Today we're going to be moving on from talking about two-dimensional shapes to looking at three-dimensional shapes. Now, three-dimensional shapes are called that 3D because they have three dimensions, a length, a width, and a height. Now, most of these shapes can be classified in two ways, prisms or pyramids. Just a refresher, prisms have two bases that are the same exact shape and are parallel to each other, and then the rest of the sides are rectangles. Pyramids, on the other hand, only have one base, and then all the other sides go up to an apex, which is 1 point. So let's look at the first one here. So this shape is made up of all rectangles, and it doesn't go up to one apex. It has two congruent bases. So this is a prism, and the shape of the bases are rectangular. So this is a rectangular prism. If it's a prism, always has two bases, and the shapes are, in this case, rectangles. Now, if you watch that slicing video before this, you'll know that if we're slicing it parallel to the base, it's going to be a cross section that cuts through and makes a slice here. So parallel to the base, in a rectangular prism, it doesn't really matter. It's going to make a rectangle parallel to the base, and it's also going to make a rectangle perpendicular to the base. Okay, look at the next one. Now, a lot of people get confused on this one. They want to say that this is a pyramid because it looks like it goes to a point, but it doesn't go to one single point. It goes to one edge here. So it's actually not a pyramid. It's actually a prism. But if you look to see what are the two identical bases, those are in the shapes of triangles. See the triangle in the front and the triangle in the back. So it's not a pyramid, it's a prism, and it's a triangular prism. Again, it's a prism, two bases. The shape of those bases are triangles. Now, if we were going to slice this parallel to the base, so we were going to cut through a side, so it's not actually doesn't go through the base, it goes along parallel to the base. So that would make a triangle. If I cut through the base, if I cut through the triangle, it's going to give me a rectangle. Okay, let's look at the next one. Again, most of the shapes are rectangles, and then there's two congruent bases. Now, those two congruent shapes are hexagons. They have 6 sides, so it's a hexagonal prism. Again, two bases, and they are hexagons. Now, if we're going to cut this parallel to the base, it's not going to go through a hexagon, it's going to go parallel to a hexagon. So if I was going to cut it parallel to the base, like this way, parallel to the base, then that's going to make a hexagon. If I cut it perpendicular right through that base, it's going to make a rectangle. Okay, let's look at this next one here. This is the first one that goes straight into an apex. So all the sides go up to 1 point. So this is a pyramid. And then if I look at the bottom shape, it looks like it would be a square. So it is a square pyramid. This one, because the pyramid only has one base, and the shape of that base is a square. If I were to slice parallel to that base, it's going to be a square. You'll notice the pattern here. If I would slice perpendicular to that base, it's a little bit different. If I go straight through it, now it's going to make a triangle. All right, this next one here, actually it has a weird name. It's not really prism, it's not really a pyramid. It has all squares. It has a special name. It is called a cube. Now again, I guess you would say the number of bases is 2, although they are all equal, so you could really say 6, but usually say 2. Shape of those bases, square. Slice parallel to the base, square. Perpendicular to base, square. Doesn't matter which way you slice it, that's going to make a square. I want to see if you can finish those three. And let's skip to the back side here. All right, let's look at this first one here. Because all the sides go up into this apex here, this point. So that is definitely a pyramid. And then I have to look at the shape of the base to name it. So this base has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. That's a pentagon. So it's a pentagonal pyramid with one base, and the shape is a pentagon. So if I were going to slice that parallel to the base, I'm going to make a pentagon. If I slice it perpendicular, going straight through, it's going to give me a triangle. Now this one is a little different. Any ones that are circular are a little bit different. So this one here is called a cone. There are one base on a cone, and that shape is a circle. If I slice parallel to that base, I'm going to make a circle. If I slice perpendicular to that base, I'm going to make a triangle. I want to do one more with you just because this one is a tricky one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I counting right? 8 sides, yeah. Okay, so all goes up to a point if there's 8 sides. Hopefully you remember an 8-sided figure is called an octagon. So it's an octagonal pyramid. One base, which is an octagon. So if I slice it perpendicular, it's going to give me, or parallel, sorry, it's going to give me an octagon. If I slice it perpendicular, it is going to give me a triangle. See if you can finish the rest and get them checked by your teacher when you're done.